Chapter 11, Communicating in the Internet Age. Communication is the transfer of information and understanding from one person to another. Communication is also defined as a social process that includes the sender, a process of encoding, the medium through which the communication is sent, the decoding, the receiver, and then feedback. Encoding is how we actually code the message that we are either listening to or trying to transmit. Depending on the message, there may be different mediums that we can use, and depending on the message, there may be mediums that are more or less appropriate. Langill and Daft suggest a contingency approach, where the media richness has to do with the capacity to convey information and promote learning. So a rich medium, there would be simultaneous information cues, there would be immediate feedback, there would be a personal focus. A lean medium is limited information, no immediate feedback, and impersonal by nature. If you think of the decision-making models that we looked at last class, this is kind of a decision-making model as to which kind of medium should we use for a determined message. Decoding is how the receiver then translates the encoded message that they have received. Noise within communication theory is anything that interferes with the communication itself. It might be within the speaker, it might be within the environment. Here are some of the communication strategies that we saw in the previous model. Spray and pray are impersonal one-way communication. If you can see on this model, the spray and pray, you are transmitting a great amount of information, but the communication effectiveness is very low. Tell and sell, a restricted set of messages with some explanation. In tell and sell, you still have a lot of information, but the communication effectiveness is a little bit higher. Underscore and explore, information and issues that are key are discussed and explained. And this is the most effective form of communication. In identify and reply, this is a more reactive communication strategy where you basically respond to employee concerns about prior organizational communication. So there's not a lot of new information here, and the effectiveness is quite high. And then the last is the withhold and uphold, where there is very little new information being transmitted and the effectiveness is quite low. And that's telling employees only what they need to know when you think they need to know it. The grapevine is the unofficial communication system in the organization. And then we have nonverbal communication. Nonverbal communication is especially important when working with people from different cultures. Here are some tips on composing a clear email message. Some tips on promoting communication via phone. Other options are video conferencing, telecommuting, or as we now know it as the cloud. And telecommuting and working virtually continues to hold promises and potential problems. A large part of being a better communicator is being an effective listener. And we end with some tips on being a better communicator in meetings.